And a skilled Lama, a skilled guru, a skilled teacher, a skilled Buddha, whatever, of course Buddhas are skilled, they can look at you, talk to you, and perceive what is wrong and give you the appropriate dharma that's going to be modified just for you. So the purpose we have a guru, the purpose we have a teacher, and we get close to the teacher, and we support and help the teacher, is that he personally modifies the dharma for us and personally gives us the ingredients and tunes up what we need more, lessens what we don't need too much for us. And over a period of time, when we develop a relationship with our guru, it's not a matter of physical closeness or not. When we develop a relationship with our guru, what we'll see is that the mind will start to transform. And when the mind transforms, our lives transform. And our lives transform, everyone around us will be transformed. So the beneficial effects of a guru in our lives, when we propitiate and we're around the guru long-term, correctly, will be that he is a direct source of knowledge to tame our minds. You see, because if we don't go near a guru, we don't go near a teacher, either we have to rely on books alone, self-meditation, introspection, or we hope the deities speak to us. And at our level, books are good, but they don't contain living knowledge that we can actually talk about, because there are many things that we don't understand. We don't get commentary. And then if we have a teacher that can teach from experience, conjoined with this text, it's even more beneficial. It's nice to hear about a professor who talks about psychology, but it's more effective if we talk to a practicing psychologist for the last 20 years. Much more effective. So like that, when we're near our guru, the purpose of having a guru, purpose of having a teacher, a spiritual mentor, I don't like the word guru, but it's just convenient. I like spiritual mentor, is someone that can pass us knowledge, guide us, and confront us, and also praise us. And in fact, the spiritual mentor becomes a very dangerous friend. Why is he a dangerous friend? Because he puts himself compassionately into your firing line. He puts up with all your antics and pranks and your tricks and your games and your psychology and your fears and your everything. He puts himself there, and incredibly puts himself there without any type of motive, ulterior motive. And whatever you offer or whatever you help, he uses that to benefit others and dedicates the merit back to you, so that there can be a difference in your life. That's the purpose of a guru, a real guru. I'm not talking about somebody who bought his certificate, like I told you in the beginning. A real guru. They transform your minds by teaching, by example, by living compassion, living action, living skillful means. And they have total love for you. Unconditional love. Why? Why do they have unconditional love? They have developed a state of mind that they cannot stand to see something happen to you. So sometimes a guru manifests very wrathful means, fierce means, and they become your dangerous friend. Why? They challenge your ego. They challenge your thinking. They challenge your sufferings. They challenge your wrong-based projections. And so when a guru puts himself in your firing line, you know how rotten we can be. We know ourselves. And so when a guru does that, and he doesn't require anything from you, what does that tell you? It must be compassion. And that must have risen from practice. That must have risen from Buddha's teachings, some kind of superior knowledge. Because the normal way is, we fight and resist. But the Dharma way or the Buddhist way is to put yourself in the firing line for this person. And the guru doesn't only deal with one person or two or three, in some cases hundreds. And year after year, we can't even deal with our ex. We can't even deal with our mother. We can't even deal with our kids. We can't even deal with certain people at a petrol station that's rude to us, give us a black face. We find it so difficult to deal with them. Imagine a guru, but we need things from them. But imagine a guru who gets very little back or nothing, or doesn't expect, and if he gets, he uses for others. That puts himself in the firing line for you, to you, for you, and with you, and compassionately waits for you, and ripens you, and to pass the teachings to you. You're like a dirty pot where he cleans patiently. In the beginning, he can't even pour anything inside. He patiently cleans you. He listens to you. He acknowledges you. When it's time, he doesn't. He'll show peaceful, wrathful means. He'll give you gifts. He'll give you words. And he'll put up with all types of temperaments. Why? Because if he doesn't, he realizes that you're going to suffer. And some gurus can see into your future. They really can. And they know what's going to happen to you in the future life. So they know that if they can't do they don't have patience to deal with you, you're going to suffer. You see, you take this kind of thinking. If we see a maimed beggar, really cannot talk, is mute, retarded, and no arms and limbs, and just laying there, and nobody even gives them money, immediately we go, oh my God, we do something. Immediately. So when we look at this type of being, we have compassion. So when the being was not this being, before this, when he was creating the causes for this, why don't we have compassion for him? Because both is the same. Cause is similar to the result. Result is similar to the cause. So similarly, a guru will look at us with or without clairvoyance, with or without powers, but by the power of the scriptures, by knowing that if we commit this, this will happen. So the guru will know that if you continue in your way, in this way, this will result for you. And if he leaves you alone, you'll suffer. So a guru's compassion is not waiting for you to get the results of your actions as you see the beggar, and then he feels compassion, but to avoid that from happening altogether, because that's what's going to happen. So when we have rough speech, and we're mean, and we hide, and we avoid, and we play mind games, the guru constantly challenges us. Not one or twice, many people, constantly, patiently absorbing many types of ill energies, harm, backtalk, doubt, questions, unhappiness, emotional outbursts, fits. The guru has to absorb all that. He has to love us as we are and prevent us from what we might become that's negative. That's the job of a guru. And the more the guru advances in his practice, the more the guru will take on. More and more and more and more. Why? Because absorbing people's happiness brings happiness. Why does it bring happiness? Because he can suffer for others. And when he suffers for others, he knows that others will not suffer. So therefore, instead of seeing the beggar, he will avoid you from becoming that. And so he puts himself in your firing line to challenge you, to talk to you, to force you, to push you, to coerce you, to bribe you, to teach you, to help you, in order that you don't gain those results. So in that way, the guru is extremely compassionate for taking on ordination vows, holding on to their vows well. The guru is very compassionate, very, very compassionate to go through many difficulties to achieve the Dharma, to obtain the Dharma, to listen to the Dharma. And the guru will go through many, many years of harsh asceticism and practices in order to realize the Dharma. And then the next latter part of the life, the guru will spend in using his knowledge and his experiences in transforming you. And he knows that you're not going to go through or able to go through the difficulties that he went through for that quick kind of attainment. But he will patiently work with you and live with you and put up with you. Because your speed of progress will be much slower because you're not able to put up with that type of training. And these days, it's very dangerous to gurus. Why? If the guru says something that students like, they retaliate back. They fight back. They gossip, they talk, they can do harm, they threaten. So the gurus will patiently absorb that and take that and listen to that and wait for the right time and pray. Pray in response to their harm. Why? You actually can't harm the guru's mind. If it's a real guru, cannot. So the gurus have to put up a lot from each individual. Each individual, the guru has to put up a lot, the teacher has to put up a lot and absorb it and forgive it and not be attached to it and let it go and not dwell on it and reward you and entice you and be caring to you. Hopefully that's cleaning the pot. Hopefully that he can actually pour the pure substance in you from one substance to another so that your substance will be filled, clean. And when students resist and they fight and they're difficult and they don't make the time, they don't make priorities, they don't get it right, they play mind games, they make it very difficult for the guru, but ultimately it's difficult for themselves because they escape from themselves. They escape from what they can be and what they can avoid. So real teachers in Tibet, we revere them tremendously. We show the deepest respect. Why? It's not easy being a guru. It looks wonderful. It looks fabulous. It looks easy. It looks like you get all respects and gifts. It's not that. The hard work, the blood, the sweat, and tears that's put behind all of that for many years, people don't see. People don't see what a guru has to go through to become a so-called guru. And many gurus don't want to be gurus. They're just put in that position because they see people suffer. They start talking, and then ultimately one person comes, gets benefit, 2, 3, and it grows. And when people request them for the Dharma, it is said in the vows, if they sincerely request you for Dharma, you cannot refuse. You cannot. You may refuse at that time. You may not feel it's ready, but you cannot ultimately refuse totally. You can't. So the gurus can put away their priorities and what they want to do in life and what they would like to do and how they have their priorities too, because they have a vow that if you request for Dharma, they must give it. And if the guru is sick, if the guru is not well, poor, happy or not, or dwelling well or not, if he's requested to give the Dharma, he must. He must. He must. Why? A real guru will not find it difficult to push themselves to convey the Dharma to others, irregardless of their condition and suffering. Why? They don't feel suffering. They're happy to absorb. An unrealized guru like myself will use this as training. If I'm sick, I'm not well, I'm not happy, something's going on, I still have to give and share to others. So it trains my mind up. Someone like His Holiness Dalai Lama, it's effortless. It's the first one. Someone like me, it's number two. I train myself up. So this is part of training for me too. And so teachers and gurus go through many years of training, many years of study, many years of trials and tribulations, and a lot of hardship and asceticism to reach that point that we would never even think of. Never think of. And they give up and sacrifice so much to practice and get that knowledge. And so when we put them on a throne, when we offer them silks and we put a victory banner over them, we are recognizing, celebrating, and also making offerings that we may be able to achieve that. So when we're very cooperative toward our guru, we're very cooperative to our teachers, who has nothing but compassion for us and skillful means to help us, not just compassion without means, compassion with means. That person we hold at the center of our hearts. And we visualize that person as one with the Buddha and the Buddha. Why? The statues can't speak to us, but our gurus speak to us the Dharma. And therefore, when the gurus speak to us the Dharma, we consider them living Buddhas. So when we visualize our gurus as Buddhas, whether they are Buddhas or not, we receive the benefits. If we can visualize a statue as a Buddha and pray and receive the benefits through the statues, we can receive it through a living person. After all, the substances in this and this is exactly the same. This is not a Buddha, it's a metal. It's a piece of metal. Therefore, Buddhists don't pray to idols. They don't worship idols. They don't pray to the image. They don't pray to the statue. What the statue represents is a map to enlightenment. The symbolism, how it stands, how it holds, the coloring, it's all a psychological map to enlightenment. And when we prostrate to that, we're prostrating to real, definitive Guanyin, great compassion, which is within us. So Buddhists don't pray to statues and paintings and pictures. They don't believe in idolatry. Just having statues that represent a roadmap to it. What's the difference if we have a book like the Quran, or what's the difference if we have an image that represents the steps to enlightenment? So if you know what it represents, from the bottom of Avalokiteshvara's feet to the top represents the complete stages of Buddhism. If you know Buddhism and you know symbolism and iconography, if you study. So when you look at that, you're immediately reminded of what you're supposed to practice and what level and where and how. If you know. So you're not praying to an idol. You're not praying to a statue. You're not. You're praying to what it represents. And it's easier to have a representation than just to visualize, because our visualization is not powerful at all. Therefore, Buddhists don't pray to statues. They don't believe in statues. They don't they don't commit idolatry, whatever. Even whether it's bad or not, I don't know. But not at all. The concept is very different.